Oye, disculpa, perdón. Va a estar un poquito raro, nomás que estaba pasando con mis amigos, te vi, nomás quería decir que te ves súper linda, no sé.
Muchas gracias. ¿De dónde eres? ¿De México?
Anything to add? What's the kind of things you want to work on the next few days in particular?
Yeah, I think for me it's just like you said, repetition.
Okay.
I used to have an issue with taking things personally. I don't anymore.
Okay.
So that thankfully.
Well, you work in sales, so you're used to just having no's, right?
Yeah.
Part of the game.
Doesn't matter. I think for me it's just going to be making that social animal my default setting. So for me, I was telling you a couple days ago, like how I have to like mentally get myself in this state to approach, to go on a date, to talk to a woman, like anything. I have to get myself in that state. If I don't, I feel like I'm just like a walking zombie.
Okay.
Yeah, which I think to a greater or lesser degree all of us face.
Yeah.
And the way around it is by there's no way except by literally going out
being
and
social.
Talk to people.
Yeah.
So even if it's just like, oh, well, hey, where's Park 93 or
Right.
you know, where's McDonald's or something like that.
Right.
Like, it doesn't really matter. Just talk to a few people.
I know.
Get the vibe going.
Right, which I feel
then-
if I did that yesterday for a little bit, I think that approaches would have been better.
Yeah, and the session yesterday, I mean, you were pretty much you were going off all over the place, just chatting. So you were pretty fearless and you were pretty into it. So you'd obviously warmed up by that stage, you know.
Now, one thing that he also pointed out too that I do is I sometimes I talk too fast, which sounds like I was running in that example, but I know that when I prepare myself and I go on a date, like I really slow things down to really create that polarity.
Right.
Really, and I get a lot of feedback from women saying like you're very masculine, and I love how like you just tell me what to do. So I get really, really good feedback.
Right.
That allows me to be able to be like, hey, I want you to wear that black dress from your photo. Show me up, I'll meet you here at 9 in my place, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And they like that. They like to be told what to do, right? It's like I'm the kind of person that I can turn your brain off,
Okay.
Now, so I know all those things, but here in the approach, I think, and then just doing it on demand, that's the hard part for me.
Well, they're related, but they're slightly different skill sets of it. Because
Right.
the approach is where the attraction is generated, and then you get the context, and then you're into the next phase, which is the texting. But then getting her out on the date, and the skill set on the date is a slightly different thing.
Yeah.
As I say, they are interrelated. But once she's on the date, she's sort of just by being there, she's sort of indicated some form of interest. So you're in a slightly different zone. When you just meet someone on the streets.
Right.
You don't know if she's interested or not. So that's why the purpose of the conversation is to try to generate some kind of attraction or generate some kind of vibe between the two of you that makes her think, fuck yeah, I want to go and see this guy again. He seems cool.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about really.
Yeah.
And it is slightly different, and it is slightly harder because whereas on the date you could argue a date is a sort of a warm. It's situation,
right?
Right?
It's an expectation.
It's like if you book if you use a sales call, and then you book a meeting, and the guy says yes, and you go to the meeting, then that's kind of it's warmish because at least
it's not a cold call.
Yeah,
right.
Whereas the approach is a cold call.
Right. Okay.
So yeah,
it's a good.
That's why I prefer day game dates to Tinder dates, because Tinder dates are essentially a blind date, and the girl's always less hot. Whereas day game, you built such value because you vibed, and it's like the girl was like, oh my god, she's already told all her friends about it. We came up to her in a coffee shop. And as long as you don't it's not about, you're still in the date learning process, so you're going to fuck a few of these up, it's fine. And you're not going to vibe with every girl. But it's just, that's why I love day game dates, because you built such value from a 10-minute conversation, Whereas Tinder date, you're just every other fucking motherfucker who's got no confidence. Oh, let me go. And your day game's actually got to be really good.
True.
And the girl's always less attractive, at least 2 points.
For sure. Yeah, a lot of filters. The other thing too is my success is very inconsistent. Sometimes like on dates, it's a lay down.
Yeah.
Smooth. Other times, it's like I don't even know when to escalate, and I delay too much going for the kiss.
But these are all Tinder dates, right?
It's a mix, but yeah. Tinder, Bumble, or in person, or through a friend, or somebody I met.
But like the majority are Tinder dates.
I'd say like 70% are
so I think
online dating.
That's actually quite a good representation because
because it is like a blind date almost from Tinder, right? But if you're going, say, if you go on 10 day game dates, there will be a consistency there, because if the girl's not really into it too, she just won't go for the date. So it's a really good filtering process for actually, I can relax, the bank's not guaranteed, but I can relax a little bit and actually just run a bit of game and have fun, So it actually takes the pressure off a lot.
Right, because
it's more enjoyable.
You do show up to the date, that interest is higher.
It's much
way
higher.
higher. You're like, if you think about the buying temperature to fuck her,
Right.
if you do a good cold approach, it's like to there, and all you've got to do is just not fuck up, build a bit of comfort, and just seduce and to get her to there. Whereas Tinder, you're here, you built no value. Every other motherfucker, right?
Right.
But this is bearing in mind that because what we try to sort of promulgate is the idea that we're going in a fairly direct manner, so she knows what's up.
Yes.
Like, she's not thinking, oh, this guy wants to be friends with
Where's
me,
the nearest
or
Starbucks?
he's a potential boyfriend that I might,
Right.
it's pretty clear either by your verbals or by the way you look at her, the way you conduct yourself, that you are.
Fast sex guy.
You're more of a fuckboy.
Well,
right?
even actually just the approach itself, because who the fuck walks up to a girl on the street and tells them they look hot and makes them feel a certain way?
Exactly.
Guys who get laid a lot, so
Yeah.
Plus, you got to think about how many other dates she's going on from Tinder. So she has to be more selective, or not selective, but she has to put up more of a wall.
Yeah,
as opposed to just a day game.
But the point is that as you get, the more direct you get, the more sort of f-boyish you get, the more rejections you could get up front. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because what it means is the ones that come on the dates tend to be more qualified.
and they expect you to escalate fast. They think you're going to be the fast sex guy, so it's congruent for you to act like that and get laid very fast. So that's why I love direct day game cold approach, because it puts you in this fuckboy box.
Yeah, I saw you in I think YouTube video you talked about exactly that.
Exactly.
Like you have to stay in alignment with how they see
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Otherwise you're like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
She's expecting, she's already kind of prepared, like, you know, but she's coming to get laid, because like, who the fuck walks up to a girl in the
With a butt
daytime?
plug, exactly.
With a butt plug. So it's
Actually so true.
it makes your job a lot easier.
Date came unprepared, she was not shaved.
Yeah, because she's like, it's kind of like you've got no value, right?
Good observation.
You did the James Bond, shaven or stirred, madam?
Yeah, I broke through anyway, but...
You broke through.
Oh, you bought the road, right?
Yeah, I said, go shave, I have a special...
Did you?
No.
You said it to shave?
You still got the golden shears though, you know?
I'm not a fan of the mafia, to be honest. I like a girl with no...
Yeah, so I think it starts in the approach. It starts in how we present ourselves. We're presenting ourselves as, you know, look, we're here because you're an attractive woman. I'm attracted to you. You know, obviously, I want to make something happen. It's on that basis, right?
Yes.
She gets that. She accepts you or rejects you on that basis. If she accepts you, the date again, it's never a done deal. It's never 100%, but it's more likely because she knows what's up.
She accepts the frame.
And again, just to go back to the other point, it doesn't even necessarily mean that she will sleep with you on the first date either, but nevertheless, you know, she knows what's up, she knows what you want, so she might make you, she might make you work for the next day or whatever, but, you know, maybe you're going to make out something like that. It's like, you know, she didn't do right. So I do much prefer, like he said, to sort of online dates where you just really don't know what's, you know, she's probably done 5 that week, you know, just random dudes, and you're just going to know what in the list. She like, doesn't tick the boxes, you know, it's all...
That explains the smell,
Yeah. So I would say, I mean, it might be with you that maybe just working on having a little bit more of that steel about you, a little bit more of that sort of, you know, devilish sort of like, you know,
Small
in the
girl.
eyes like thing, a little bit maybe. I need to see a little bit more, and obviously we'll go to the session now.
Maybe push some instant dates as well, because girls in Colombia, they're horny, especially in Zona T, they're looking for foreigners. They know foreigners hang out there. Push for the instant date, you know, you've got nothing to lose.
I just repetition as well, man.
Reps.
Because it sounds like at the beginning you're still a little bit nervous, which is fine, because just the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get.
Yeah.
The more comfortable you'll get, the more you'll relax.
Okay.
You know, and that's pretty much all it is. There's no mindset around it that one can teach. It's just reps.
Yeah. Desensitization.
The obstacle is the way.
Exactly. Right. And
The obstacle.
The obstacle is the way.
Oh.
So the difficult thing,
Right.
to do the approach is the way through that is by
Is
doing the
doing
difficult
the
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what you're sort of talking about before is switching between work mode and social mode is difficult for everybody. But the way through that is to stop
Repetition and just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, your work, luckily, is actually quite social, though, right? You're a salesman.
Yeah,
So you're talking
but
to
it's
people.
over video. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But it's still talking
right.
to people, right? And you've got a good voice, and
Yeah.
you understand how to influence, persuade, how to banter, and that's just
True. So,
they're all kind of the same.
Yeah,
Any questions on any of that? Or any questions?
No,
Anything
I
you guys
have a
want to-
follow-up question for like, I feel sometimes it's hard for me to be like funny on the date.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm just like, wow, they are laughing all the time.
So remember, you need to get them doing some work, right? Because you're trying to find out about her. So the question game is great. So I've got 3 questions for you, you've got 3 questions for me. That's the game. You've got to be totally honest. You can't copy the same question. And then you just start asking each other interesting questions, you know?
Yeah,
So things that
I
spike
did yesterday,
emotion.
but maybe the questions were like not on point.
So something that spikes emotion, so I'm like, what's the happiest you remember being in your life? Or what's the craziest thing you've done in the last 6 months? You know, what's a place you'd love to go to in the world? And then you move into dating. What do you find attractive in men? 2 things physical, 2 things personality. Do you prefer good guys or bad guys? And obviously she's having fun. You're having fun with this, right? And she's going backwards and forwards. And you can go off on tangents. And I always do. It sounds fucking childish, but fuck, marry, kill. I'm going to point you out 3 guys or 3 people. You got to tell me which one you fuck, which one you marry, which one you kill with reasons. I'd always put a girl in there as well.
Okay. You point out.
Yeah, in and around the bar, because you're breaking you're going between this kind of love bubble to the outside world, you know, and you're like guessing, and you're like, oh god, look how bad. Apart from our date being so awkward, look how awkward that date is. She's and there's always a girl sat there, and the guy like leaning in, like, tell me what's wrong with that body language. So you're having fun. You're going between the outer and the what you're doing right then and there. And the key premise of this is having fun.
Yeah.
Right, making everything fun. Whether we're going on doing a boring catch-up call, client service call with a client, or approaching, or going on a date, always think about the filter. How can I make this 10% more fun, 10% more enjoyable? Because life ticks by. We just got millions of all we have is millions of present moments, right? And fun doesn't come from the external; it comes from our internal view of the world. So I'm going to try and make every single thing fun. Because one day I have eternal blackness. Yeah. Why would I not have fun with whatever I'm doing, any stage?
And I have the opposite problem. I think for me, it's hard for me to make it fun on the approach.
But because your brain is working against you. Our brain is built to keep us safe and in the comfort zone, not to have fun.
Yeah.
So your brain is always going to make everything seem serious and a problem. And you've got to go, no brain, you're not in control of me. I can decide to have fun. Yeah, because the default state is always not fun.
That mindset, I think, as well, which will help with wanting the outcome on a date, will be really good for playful. Which is like, instead of going on the date to try and hook up with a girl, just think to yourself, I'm going to make this as fun for me as possible. And then naturally, you know, you'll be filtering everything through that lens. And then, you know what, at the end of the day, if she just doesn't vibe with you, fuck it.
I think
right?
I set myself up for failure because I told too many people about the date and I was too excited about it.
Maybe.
You're off the stage, right?
Yes,
so then you created a sense of dread, like, fuck, I have to try and like sleep with this girl because I've got to tell the guys
Exactly.
tomorrow, right? As opposed to like, fuck it, I don't give a shit what happens.
Well, tell us about the dates though, because we do actually want to film these, you know, so it'll be really good feedback for you.
But it doesn't need to be a comedy show, you know, it doesn't need to be the Jack show.
No, another comedian.
Exactly, you don't have to be, because people have different styles, right? I mean, if some guys, you know, maybe they're really funny, that's their vibe. Other guys less so, you don't have to do. The main thing is you're creating some kind of emotion in that.
Yeah.
So, and you know, what you talked about the question game, you know, talking about, and getting a bit deeper under the surface as well, about her and what she's into, why she likes certain things, you know, why you like art, that's really interesting because you want to be like your little girl, she's always got down Michelin girls. And then I intersperse that with some pretty heavy keynote and being really inappropriately flirtatious, and then switch back to the more serious, actually getting to know that thing. And that's worked quite well for me. And a bit of humour as well, but it's not like going to be like a laugh a minute necessarily, you know?
No. Good point.
Do you guys have any questions before you head out now?
Is this recorded and like, are we sent this video or is it just like?
Yeah, we'll send you everything, man.
I would love to go on a date with you and to get to know your style.
Is she gonna put out? Is he gonna put out?
I don't put out until the
third date.
Third?
But definitely, if you can set up a date, let's get that film because it's really good feedback. It's the best feedback. Most people get feedback on their day game step, but if we can get feedback on the dates, it's like going to accelerate your progress, save you so much time. Okay. It's cringing to watch yourself, but it's the best feedback you're ever. Well, that's a great test of having to take your ego out of it. Because that's the ego going, oh man, you know, cringing at every time. But again, you get used to it.
All together and love it.
What with popcorn and
Yes.
anything you've noticed from what Jack's doing approach-wise, or Alberto that because obviously you've been around this for a long time now, you've got a good level of understanding. Is there anything you're picking up from what you've seen so far that they should maybe improve or?
No, I think from Alberto, I told him yesterday, speaking slower, because it was the first couple of approaches, he was speaking loud and really fast.
It's something I'm very guilty of and I need to slow down. But you've got a great natural gravitas when you speak, and imagine how powerful that could be if you just slow it.
Yeah, I did an example on me and I almost wanted to ask him out. So.
He did an example of
like how he does it? Like
slowing down.
He does it like really slow, like intentional eye contact. Like it's almost like it's a bubble he's creating.
Right.
Like it's just me and you right now.
Well, he's had Scientology training, which is stare through their soul. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so speaking slower for him. Yeah. Anything else?
I think that's it.
I think.
And Jack, anything for him?
There was a little bit of premature ejaculation.
Yes, there was. I had to change pants at some point.
Yeah.
I love it when we just drop that in deadpan. Clients are like, what's he talking about? Yeah, is it dribbling through? Like what? Clients are always.
Yeah, there was a couple of times you could probably have pushed remained in the conversation for longer, like the guy in the cafe, and I think there was another one.
So what's a good thing, maybe a parachute phrase, like a safety phrase? Because it's our ability to deal with tension, right? Okay. So sometimes it's like, it's going well, but we don't want to ruin the good vibes. So we're like, okay, let me prematurely eject and just get her number, but you want to bear out that tension. So how can we flip it onto her? What's a phrase you could say in Spanish or English to make her have to talk? Yeah, when you're feeling the pressure and you want to run away, you can flip it and make her do some talking, right?
Okay, so like, before I head out, like tell me just one interesting thing about it.
Yeah, what do you like to do for when you're not drinking aguardiente with your friends and going crazy? Like, what do you actually like to, it sounds cheesy or whatever, but have you got a passion? What do you like to do for fun? Not aguardiente, not partying. Well, have you got like something like painting? Like you look like creative, right? And she'll think of something and start speaking. And then you can use that topic and riff on it. Because something that a woman chooses to do for fun in her spare time is something that makes her tick. So by speaking about that thing with you, she's anchoring a good feeling. All right?
Yeah. I mean, that girl from Korea, for example, I mean, like
Korea?
Exactly. Yeah. So like genuine curiosity, I think is.
That's just interesting, isn't it?
It's just interesting. Like, how come? Why are you here? You know, like, how long have you been here for? Are you studying here? You know, what are the cultural differences? I mean, there's so many routes you can go down with something like that. You know,
if they're genuinely our type, I find it's way easier to be interested in them because I'm actually like, okay. And so it's the Dale Carnegie thing, right? The most interesting people are interested. So if we can find some sort of interest about what the, but that would have been, as Troy says, the obvious thing is, what the fuck are you doing in Bogatar? A Korean girl in Bogatar. It's just, that's the obvious route, right? And did you kind of go down that path?
I did ask, a little bit.
And out of interest, what the fuck was she doing?
Yeah, I think for me, like, I thought she was super, super young, and then she walked into a toy store. And then literally. And then I was like, nah, and I aborted. I was like, I'm not going to approach her. She looks like she's like 15, 17.
Right.
And then we saw her again. She was close. And then they were like, just come on, just go. So I went for it, but I think mentally I already shut her down in my head. But I did it just because they wanted me to. She was really cute, and she was 18. But I asked it in a very not calibrated way. I was just like, how old are you?
Do you know how to frame it so it makes you look like you're in charge?
One of you guys gave me the example of like...
so I'm worried, I think you're cute, you look interesting, but I'm worried you're too young for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Get them to justify that, no, I'm old enough.
Like, I'm 18. I was like, oh, good, I'm just a year older than you. Perfect. Right.
You're older than?
Like 1 year. Like, yeah, like I'm...
Yeah, 18's fine. How old are you, 34?
37.
Yeah, it's fine. 18's fine.
Yeah. But just as regardless of that particular girl, as a general example, that was a great topic to riff on. Sometimes they come back to they're just from Bogatar and they're just like studying here. It's like, oh, fuck, but you've got to try and pull something out. I do think this genuine curiosity thing is really like genuinely be interested in them and like, so
you can always learn from people. Yeah,
you do that stuff on the date as well.
Yeah,
right. Just be genuinely curious.
Yeah. And it's good to make statements rather than machine gun her with questions.
Right.
But at the same time, if you can't think of anything, it's better to ask a question because what you really want to do is you want to keep the conversation going. You know.
Right.
So you've got to say something. You know. So even if it's like, oh, so are you studying here? What do you look like a creative type. I imagine you're studying fashion.
Yeah.
And then she goes, no, actually I'm doing economics. Like, oh, cool. Okay, well,
Right.
Well, it's a bit of a shit show at the moment, isn't it? It must be interesting. Or, I don't know, whatever. But you've got to find a route, find a topic, and then riff on that for a bit. Anything else?
Okay, good. Grounded masculine state, that's what you want.
I did today one approach.
Okay, good.
After training, and I was like, it was very awkward.
Why?
She was walking very slowly. She had this kind of, in her eyes, either she's on something, or she just went out of a meditation session, I wasn't sure. And I was doing like the fighting thing with my trainer. She saw us, and then she looked like a second or so, and then she was still hovering, like with 1 kilometer per hour, no? And I was like, stop training. And I'm like, wait, dude, I have to go, no? I grabbed my phone, just in case, and I ran after her, like adjusted my speed, and I had a real distance to her, like 2 meters for sure, no? Come from the side and like, hey, smile, no? She looked at me. Went back, no? Like, didn't even increase the speed, nothing, like, I was like, what the fuck?
So low interest, yeah. That's all right. They're all low interest or high interest. All that's in our control is approaching.
Yeah.
And just see where it goes.
Yeah,
but I loved it. I felt in the moment, this liberty moment, I just can go and approach.
Of course.
Exactly.
Of course.
And,
that's it.
We're not going to be everyone's type. We're not going to perfect gel with everybody. We're not going to buy with everybody. It's fine. It is what it is. Part of this is, obviously we want to try to do each set as proficiently as we can and showcase ourselves as well as we can, but also we have to accept that not everyone's going to be interested. So part of this is testing for interest.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, a girl to a girl, she's like, hey, listen, I saw you, you look really cute or something. She's like, oh, thanks, yeah, hi. And he kind of looks at her phone. Oh, okay, right, low interest, whatever. Okay, see you later. Another one, she's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh, thank you, that's so nice. So play with that. Obviously, right, okay, there's some interest here.
Right.
Now develop the conversation. You know, and it's just, crowds used to talk about flipping over stones, didn't they? And it's like, you go out and you flip stones, and under some of the stones there's a gold coin, okay? And under a lot of them there isn't. So what you're looking for, you're just going out, just talk to people, and then you see that, you know, the one with the gold coin, right, okay, now I can develop this, and I'll try and get the number.
And there's nothing to lose. We enter the streets with nothing. So you have nothing to lose, and you have unlimited tries. It's like going into a Vegas casino, broken pool, and you have unlimited goes. You're going to complete the game sometime. It's amazing. So going with this idea of, this is amazing. No other guy is approaching, so I'm automatically alpha, and I have unlimited tries to get laid. True. It's amazing growth mindset opportunity, right? We're so lucky.
And no matter what happens, if the
no matter what
if Tinder stops working, I'm still rolling.
And also, no matter what happens in the approach, I'm having fun. That's true outcome independence, and that's true internal mastery. Whatever the circumstance, I'm in a playful, self-amusing, upbeat state. I don't give a fuck about the external. That's true power. That's true self-mastery that Lao Tzu and people like that talk about. Internal, whatever, you know, I'm good with it. And we can train that state, you know, so we fall in love with rejection. Amor fati, we love it when we get laid, we love it when we don't. We're always in that upbeat, playful, self-amusing life as a game. Because it is. The end of the prize is we all get to be in the ground rotting with worms crawling through our eyes. Therefore, let's enjoy until it goes black. Yeah. Why would we not? We have no real problems. We're at the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We're not on the front line in Ukraine getting blown up. Oh, my coffee's cold. Oh my God, she flaked. These aren't problems, right? But the brain, again, working against us, doesn't understand that. So you need to be the conscious creator and override the default programming of the brain, which is working against you having fun, working against you enjoying life. But it's a beautiful thing. It doesn't know we're not the hobo on the street missing his legs with his kids around him. Your brain is always going to make everything doom and gloom and serious. Fuck you, brain. I understand how you work. I'm not going to do that. So it's understanding your own programming, right? That's self-mastery. Make sense? Any questions?
Hola, disculpa. Perdón, te acabo de ver ahorita y nomás quería ver que te ves muy linda.
Ay, gracias.
¿Cómo te llamas? De Colombia aquí. Estos amigos que tengo están buscando comida italiana. ¿No recomienda algo?
Comida italiana, hay uno que se llama Historia de Amore, pero no es acá.
Pero se ve como romántico, ¿no? Creo que lo vi por GPS.
Un poquito.
Eres pecosa también. Sí, yo también tengo pecas, pero salen más en el verano.
Claro, en el
sí.
verano. Ay, no sé cuál más. Creo que acá abajo.
Aquí abajito.
Hay uno, si no estoy mal, Obrera. No sé en qué piso será.
Mira, yo no conozco aquí. Sí, porque estamos aquí unas par de semanas y pues primera vez en Colombia en general, pero vengo para trabajar y pues por eso. ¿Vas a ver tus amigas o qué es el plan para hoy, para ti?
Estoy acá, en la feria.
¿Estás trabajando? ¿Qué tienes tu diseño? Tienes como que una vibra creativa.
No, es de mi mamá.
¿Es de mamá?
Pañoletas y ropa de verano.
¿Sí?
Sí, pueden ir a Brera. Brera
Okay.
es italiano. Pero pregunten porque no estoy segura dónde es.
No.
O sea, sé que es acá, pero...
¿Pero vives aquí en esta parte o te vives en otra zona?
No, vivo en Chía, que es a las afueras de Bogatar.
¿Qué tan lejos está?
Como a 1 hora.
Ay, ¿tomas que el camión o Uber o cómo?
No, un carro.
¿En carro sí? No, bastante. ¿Trabajas aquí todo el fin entonces aquí?
Sí.
Ok, ¿a qué hora acaba? ¿Como las 8? ¿7, 9?
A las 9.
9. Bueno, mira, obviamente pues te ves bonita y por eso te vi. Yo sé que es raro así nomás decirle, pero no sé si te gustaría tomar una copa otro día.
Bueno.
¿Sí? Perfecto, porque ahorita cuando estoy con estos niños ya, déjame, nos pon tu WhatsApp y luego te mando un mensajito.
Me toca.
Sí, no, es que creo que tienes que cambiarle el US. Sí. ¿Qué es más fácil para ti, sábado o domingo para ti?
39, voy 23. ¿Domingo?
Sí, está bien.
Listo, que estés bien.
Igual, chao.
Ay.
¿Cómo te llamas? Oye, ¿qué recomiendas para comer como sushi o italiano?
Pues acá en la esquina,
Sí.
en la otra, hay un restaurante de sushi.
¿Sí? ¿Y qué haces? ¿Qué dices? ¿Estudio F? ¿Aquí?
Sí, acá.
¿Y qué haces? ¿Vendes joyería? O? ¿Sí? Ok. ¿Y es de Bogatar originalmente?
Sí.
¿Te gusta?
Sí.
Sí, llueve mucho, ¿no? O sea, como que el clima como que para arriba o para abajo.
viendo
¿Sí?
así todo el
Tienes
tiempo.
bonitos ojos. Bueno, chao.
He called meeting you, Troy, and that's it. Leave
Hola.
it. And the thinking behind that is if she's interested, she's going to respond. So I
Me
don't
encantó.
try to do anything too clever.
Me encantó conocerte.
I mean,
Or is it too much?
I'm only trying it because I realised my bottleneck's what's on the texting.
Ah,
Good
okay.
approaches, but not many conversions into dates. So that's when I started trying this.
I think you can try different things, and I think it can work. I mean, I think that you remember Mr. M, don't you?
Yeah.
So Mr. M got me into this really bizarrely. Got me into this idea of he was like he was relatively sort of just straight. Yeah, exactly. Sort of straight down the line anyway. And his vibe was just like, well, look, if she's interested, she's going to respond. If she's not, so. I will then get a bit more flamboyant with the texting if she responds.
Right.
Then
So
I might.
the opener's dry, just
but
direct.
The opener is just
Like, hi,
it's just hey,
like yeah. Hi, it was good meeting you.
yeah, but at your own risk, because maybe if you do a whole Game of Thrones narrative, maybe. I mean, there's arguments on both sides. You don't really know what's going to work. But for me personally, I quite like keeping it minimal because you don't want to look too try hard
Yeah.
on the first thing. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Like my text game is good. Like it is good.
Yeah. So what would you normally do for the first one though? Because I just think if you. Again, you've got to think of the archetypal high value dude. Is he really going to spend ages trying to think of like, oh, she's wearing red shoes, so what can I say about that?
Nah, like what would James Bond say, or what would
like, hey, nice meeting you.
DiCaprio would be like?
Yeah.
Hey, good meeting you. See you
Or probably even just hey, and then
Yeah,
she has
I'll
to
do like
say-
maybe like I'll do like 1% more than that, but yeah, because hey, yeah, I get it.
None of us.
If my approach was amazing, then I could probably go with hey or nothing at all.
Sucks that she's leaving on Monday, man.
I know, y no es de aquí, sí, ya sé. Yeah, I would love it. Fuck, spend the weekend with. She's so good, bro. But if I meet her, like you said, like yeah, like maybe we got we have that long term, and maybe I go to her and she comes to me or whatever. Hola Lili, me encantó conocerte. Oye, disculpa, perdón, es que suena un poco raro, pero nos acaba de ver y nomás quiere decir que es hermosa.
Gracias.
¿Cómo te llamas? Estamos buscando algo para comer más al rato, pero que no sea en zona té, algo más tranquilo. ¿Qué recomiendan? ¿O qué es zona? Italiano, sushi, algo así.
Uy, no sé.
¿No?
Que no sea zona T.
Que no sea, sí, porque ahí está como que se pone muy lleno el fin de semana.
Wok.
Wok, ¿es como japonés?
Sí, es chino. Japonés.
Ok. sí que-
Asiático.
Asiático, ok, perfecto, sí.
Pero hay en varias partes, no precisamente el de acá.
¿Viven por aquí o viven en otra parte de Colombia?
Más al norte.
¿Más al norte? Ah, no vienen a pasear entonces.
Sí,
Ah,
para
mira.
compras.
Bueno, mucho gusto, ¿eh?
Igual, estoy bien.
Bye. Nada más, ya sé que es raro, pero te veías hermosa, nada más te quería decir hola.
Gracias.
¿Cómo estás? ¿Eres colombiana? Tienes una hermosa sonrisa. Sí, vengo aquí nomás con ellos en Inglaterra y pues nomás lo estoy enseñando en Bogotá.
Ah, ¿tú sí eres colombiana?
No, yo soy italiano y mexicano. Soy mezclado, sí, pero es la segunda vez que vengo aquí, primera vez para ellos, entonces estoy como que enseñándoles. Y ya sé, no sé, te vi, pero ya sé que es raro así nomás decirle hola, porque como creo que la gente quiere venderte algo, ¿no? Casi siempre, ¿no? Como que, cómprame esto. Pero no sé, me gusta tu estilo, pues no sé, como que tienes así, no sé, como dark, no sé, como la Matrix, ¿ahí te pareces un poco? Sí, ¿a dónde vas ahorita? ¿A trabajar? ¿A ver amigas? Mira, estoy con ellos ahorita, ya sé que me están viendo, pero no sé si te gustaría una copa conmigo otro día. ¿Cómo te gustaría? ¿Sí? Perfecto. Bueno, mi WhatsApp. Sí. No sé qué cambiarle ponerle el teléfono de. ¿Qué te gusta hacer? ¿Sí? ¿Te gusta bailar? ¿Te gusta lugares tranquilos?
Comer.
Café. ¿Comer? ¿Qué te gusta comer? Oh,
La comida colombiana no es pésima.
no, ¿es pésima?
Es mala.
Mira, ¿no te gusta? ¿No te gusta la pizza y la hamburguesa?
No, la pastas, carne,
Algo italiano.
sushi.
¿Sí? Ahí, me dijo alguien, Wok, ¿has escuchado? Wok. Es un lugar creo que de sushi. ¿Debemos ir? Si quieres.
Ok.
Bueno,
Adiós.
mucho gusto. ¿eh? So like when it's like groups, so like 3 or more, like do you typically like still address the girl you want and then address the group?
Acknowledge
No.
the others.
Or
Address the group.
I was like, okay.
Because remember, it's the same. It's sort of the same as. Well, it depends. If it's, it depends how big the group is. If it's like 16 people, then you can probably pick off the one you want. If it's like 3,
right.
I'll be like, hey guys, you're looking great. Beautiful afternoon. You enjoying the weather here? And also, I don't know. So anyway, listen. You're all looking great, but I had to stop you because I think your friend is looking particularly attractive today, and I kicked myself. I don't know if you use that expression or something like that.
Yeah.
To win them over. Yeah, I would kick myself. I know I would regret it if I didn't come over and at least say hello. So here I am, and just see how they react. If they go like, look at you like a piece of shit.
Right.
Fine.
Right. So okay.
But if they buy in and they're like,
compliment the group. Like I like your vibe. You guys seem pretty fun. Whatever. Oye, disculpa. Perdón. Va a ser un poquito raro, nomás que estaba pasando con mis amigos, te vi, nomás quería decir que te ves súper linda, no sé.
Muchas gracias. ¿De dónde eres? ¿De México?
Sí. Vengo aquí con ellos, son de Inglaterra, estoy enseñando, bueno, tampoco conozco Bogotá tampoco.
Yo vivo en España.
¿En España?
Pero yo soy colombiana.
¿Cómo? Vives allá, pero visitas familia ahorita.
Sí.
Mira.
Y gracias.
No, sí, ¿ves del gym?
Sí.
¿O sí?
Estoy haciendo una vuelta de notaría porque como ya me regreso el domingo, pues...
¿Ya te vas? No.
Pero si quieres anotar mi
Sí.
Instagram y quedamos en contacto.
Perfecto. Entonces, ¿vienes seguido o te quedas ahí en España?
No, ya me regreso y me quedo allá. ¿Tú vives acá?
Sí, pero me gusta viajar, o sea. Vengo aquí de trabajo. Pero sí.
Escríbeme, estamos en contacto.
Perfecto,
sin
sí.
problema.
Pon tu croquetes.
¿Quieres follow Pauli?
No, pero
pero
sí,
no, anótame en Instagram.
Sí.
Y me escribes por ahí.
A ver.
Ahorita no tengo internet, pero...
Yo tampoco, a ver, ¿cómo?
A ver si te salgo.
Es que también
es que tú
la
estás
señal.
igual que yo.
Sí. Ahí está eso, ¿no?
La primera. Sí,
Esa
dale seguir.
Sí, no, es que con el...
yo tan pronto tenga datos te...
Sí, ahorita, no sé si quieres gustar una copa mañana antes que te vayas o algo, por lo menos para...
Bueno, sí,
¿Sí?
escríbeme
¿Y así?
y una cuadramos, si no hoy.
Ok, perfecto. Sí, ok, perfecto. Ok, chao.
Approach or?
Yeah, number, Instagram, because she doesn't have any signal.
Okay.
And she's from Spain. She lives on Sunday, so she said maybe hang out tonight.
All right, so we're down in the Zona T area in Bogatar now, walking around, doing some more work, doing some more approaching, and you just went to talk to...
Yeah, I saw this girl that was coming from the gym, cute little shorts, ran across the street, told her, hey, this is random. I saw you across the street with my friends, and I just had to come say hi because you were really cute. She smiled, and then, kind of called the obvious. I can tell you're coming from like spinning class or like CrossFit or whatever. She laughed you out. Asked her where she's from. She's Spanish.
Yeah.
And she leaves on Sunday. So I was
Spanish
like,
is in
Spain.
All right.
Yeah, she's from Spain.
Is she just a tourist here, or?
No, so she has family in Colombia.
Oh, okay.
So she came to visit them, but she leaves back, but she lives over there.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I'm leaving. And I was like, oh, it's a shame. I would love to take you out. I mean, and then she's like, well, yeah, if you want to take my Instagram, we can maybe make plans. I don't have signal right now, but we can maybe make plans later today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Before I leave. So I was like, okay, that's fair.
I think it's always good to grasp the net on it, just sort of like... I made a mistake once. I don't know if I mentioned it on this trip in one of the other videos or not, but I made a mistake once. I did an infield recording that Tom Torero, who was quite prominent at the time as a coach, saw. And it was a really good infield, so I met this Polish girl in London, and she kind of liked me, and it was on from the beginning, and blah, blah, blah. And I got her number, but she said, I go back to Warsaw tomorrow. And in my head, I was just like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll be in... I sort of said to her, well, I'll be in Warsaw soon, so maybe we can meet out, let's exchange numbers, blah, blah, blah. And I showed the infield to Tom, and Tom said that was really good, but why didn't you try and get her out that night? And it occurred to me, I was like, fuck, yeah, why didn't I? Do you know what I mean? It just, didn't occur to me at the time. And that really taught me a lesson. Sometimes, the moment is now.
Right. Time's of the essence.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's still here. She's still here for a night. That other girl that you met, she's here until whatever it was.
Monday, yeah.
So conceivably, you could make something happen. And even if you don't, if you could get a bit of FaceTime on a date, and then potentially meet up with them again somewhere else.
Right. Get that comfort.
Because you want to. It's comfort, but it's also you want to test the vibe.
Right. See the vibe. See if I even like her.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. I might not even. Yeah.
So great stuff, man.
All right.
Ok. Sí. Dime algo interesante de ti, antes que me vaya, porque me van a esperar.
Interesante.
Book a call on the link below so we can help you map out exactly what you want in your dating life, the strategy, the vision, and we can help you get from A to B as quickly as possible, depending on what you want. That's the key thing. We've been doing this for 10 years. We've worked with thousands of dudes. We can save you your most valuable assets, which are your time, your attention, and your money, and get you from A to B as fast as possible. So book a free call, a free dating strategy consultation with us below.